Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. For all my new subbies, yo. For all my old subbies, here. We back at it again with another video. Yes, I'm so consistent as of lately. For the people that don't know me, my name is Lexis, Lexis, but you can call me Lexi for short. And on this channel, we talk about God, we talk about my journey, we talk about fitness, we talk about all that. We talk about me and my journey. Yes. For the people that don't know, I like to get straight into the video. So don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you never miss a video. And let's just get straight into the video. We about to do a get ready with me, y'all. A get ready with me. So videos all over the place, but y'all, you know. If you don't know, you about to know. So yeah, let's get into the video. All right, y'all. So growing up, I really never had to sneak nothing. Like, my mom was my best friend. She kept it a buck. She kept it a G with us, but at the same time, she was strict enough. So I ain't never sneak out the house. You know, I didn't lose my virginity after I graduated high school. You know, like, I was able to come to my mom about a lot of stuff, right? So drinking and like smoking and stuff was not like, what's the word? Looked down upon, because everybody, I want to say everybody, but a good amount of people did it in my family. So it wasn't looked like as like, oh, but when I started doing it, everybody was like surprised, because growing up, I was a goody two shoe. I did not like, what's the word? The smell of it. I didn't like how liquor made me feel, no nothing, right? But then life be lifing. Life be lifing. So I became really, really stressed. I remember the first time I smoked was because of T-Mobile.
Girl, what?
Y'all like, huh? They had me in the store for like, I think 4 hours on my lunch break, trying to get a freaking new phone just for me to not end up with a phone. So I went back to work and my boss was like, where were you, Lexi? And I was like, I was literally stuck at T-Mobile. Like, it was supposed to be a real quick such and such, but they wouldn't let me, like, it was just a mess. So I was mad about my check. My boss was mad. And then I was just, a lot of stuff was going on at home. I was like telling my friend, I want to smoke. She was like, for real? I was like, for real. So, and then I never used to date guys that smoke, but then like right after that, it's just like, I didn't realize how many guys that really smoke, because guys that used to approach me dating, but as soon as I started smoking, every guy, every plug in the book started like warning me, right? So this dude, he used to smoke. And it was unattractive. Like, I don't like guys that smoke all day. Like, every single time I call you, it's, oh, I'm like, what you doing? I'm smoking. I'm about to roll up. I'm smoking. Like, damn, what? How many blunts you go smoke? What you running from? What you running from, fam? And at that point, I didn't know like people smoked to run from anything. So that goes on later on in the story, right? So I'm like, I'm really trying to stay focused, because it's really hard for me like to talk while I'm doing my makeup. I don't know why, but yeah. So I'm like, me and him like stopped talking, not because of the smoking thing, but just the lack of responsibility, whatever. So then there's not enough foundation. I need to do something like over here. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so at this point, I'm like dating the plugs, right? Okay, but I'm like, it takes me 2 weeks to finish one blunt. Like, I was never, my tolerance was like this low, and it stayed like that for a minute, right? So like I said, I used to only smoke to go to sleep. It just helped. I used to have like really, really bad insomnia, so I just did it for that. And then I want to say, fast forward, when I moved to Tally. Tally is the epitome of like everything that switched up, right? So I moved to Tally, and now I'm in a new city. All my friends smoke. All my friends drink. You feel me? Like, I'm from Miami, so drinking is like regular, but I never used to like get drunk or anything like that, especially because I used to be the one with the car, so I used to always have to drive. So, but shoot, I'd be more impaired smoking than drinking. So okay, I moved to Tally, and my ex smoked heavy, right? But he was very functional. Like, he gonna smoke, but he gonna make sure he go out there and work. So it didn't really bother me, you feel me? But that means I get free weed, right? So I'm just like, I'm in a new city. Me and my best friend at the time, we kind of stopped being best friends. Oh, I shouldn't have did this part. Too bad, I'm already here. We kind of stopped being best friends. Life is really stressful. My brother had passed not too long, but at this point, not too long ago, but long, it's been, but I had like suppressed it and didn't realize I never got over it. And then I got into like a toxic relationship prior to that relationship. I had a lot of stuff going on prior to that. So it was just like a lot of stuff that had built up that I never realized I never dealt with. Abandonment issues, daddy issues, you feel me? Just so much stuff. So when COVID hit, it was like, honestly, before COVID, I really started to smoke more heavy. I realized like I would finish a blunt in like 3 days, and people be like, bro, you still, but no. And then it became like, one day I'm smoking a whole blunt, or like, I remember one time I smoked 2 blunts in 1 day, and from 2 weeks to 2, that was a lot. So I would just cut off cold turkey because I'm like afraid to be addicted to anything. I'm like, oh, what if I get addicted to this and then like I move or whatever and I don't have access to free weed? I mean, you have to use that as a budget because I feel like I'm not going to be able to know how to function without it. You feel me? So I never want to be addicted to anything. So I would like stop cold turkey, wait till my tolerance get back a certain level, and then I would go back to it. So this is what I was kind of doing, right? But at one point, it was like me and him was just going through stuff. Why can't I find my brush? Hold on, y'all. All these brushes and I couldn't find my brush. So I'm like, now I'm like going to the club, right? So, cause I'm 21 now. So before I would drink, but it'd be like, with my friends, we grab a bottle or whatever. But like now I'm 21, I could drink. We can go to the club, we could turn up. So now I'm in the club heavy, you feel me? So if I'm not with him, I'm with my friends and I'm turned up, you feel me? But at the same time, like when I'm with him, I wouldn't say feel alone. It's just like, So he would smoke, and then whatever, and then we would go to sleep or whatever, and that just became the routine, right? So then I remember like me and him like not talking, and I would like hit up my plug that was in my complex, and he used to give me really good discounts, if not for free, because he liked me. And so yeah, so now I'm smoking for real. I'm eating edibles, so not edibles, right? So I'm getting real high. So then I remember one day, I was just like, I literally woke up, my bathroom was a mess, my room was treacherous, my car was a mess, and I was just like, this cannot be life, right? Like I'm in a relationship that I just, like this can't be life. So that's just when I started switching up my life. But at this point, I was still smoking, you feel me? I was drinking less, but I was still drinking, right? So this is when the trajectory of my life started to shift. All right, so I was like, I'm not renewing my lease. I'm not staying down here with this man, blah, 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 blah. And then I went up to North Carolina, right? So I'm with my dad. Now I get, now I got access. I got access to weed. Like, I'm smoking. I'm like smoking real heavy at this point. I wouldn't say like real heavy to a certain point, but for me, I was smoking real heavy. Like, best believe, any free time I have, I'm smoking, right? Before I eat, I'm smoking. So, and then every Saturday and Sunday, I'm out. I'm at Stats. Like, I'm going to drink. So now I'm getting blacked out drunk. Never have been blacked out drunk before. So I usually I used to drink like brown liquor, right? So that used to make me sleepy. So I didn't know what blacked out drunk was, you feel me? I never believed it. Like, you telling me you got so drunk that you don't remember what happened the night before? Okay. I was humbled extremely quick, okay? When I say not remembering nothing. And I'm not like an angry drunk or whatever. Like, I get just really like friendly. You feel me? Like, oh my God, girl, you so pretty, da 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 da. And I'll probably be a little bit more promiscuous than normal. But usually I always had a boyfriend, so that never really seemed like to be a problem. I should the opposite. That's cool. Yeah, never really had a problem because I always had a boyfriend. But I don't have a boyfriend, so I'm single. I'm getting drunk. the stuff that be happening to me while I'm on video, this never happens to me while I'm like by myself. So sorry, y'all keep looking down because I was looking at this little mirror. So I remember smoking, and like I started getting like so much gas in my stomach, like it used to hurt. My stomach used to, I started to feel like I got a burp all the time, right? So I remember I had like two weed brownies, right? Because I just forgot it was a weed brownie and I was just eating it. And I know I had it, I was tripping because I don't even like chocolate. So I don't know who made them brownies, but them things was good. And you know how you just be having something sitting in your face and then you watching TV, you just start like munching on stuff? That's kind of how it was, right? So I'm munching on it, whatever. And then I realized, oh shoot, I literally just ate like a whole brownie, right? And I remember like an hour later, I'm on the floor and I'm just sitting in armadillo position and I'm trying to scream. Like I'm literally thinking I'm about to die. Like my heart was beating so fast. Like I couldn't sit on the bed. I had to be on the floor. I'm trying to call like my stepmom's name and like, but I couldn't. Like I literally could not speak. Like I was just, it felt like death, y'all. It really felt like death, right? So I was like, oh my gosh, like, oh no, this can't ever happen again, right? So then I kept having this like it would wake me up in the middle of the night, how much pain my stomach was in. So I went to the hospital, and people that know me, I do not like doctors, I do not like hospitals, I don't like none of that. So if I'm going to the hospital, the best believe it's because like I really can't take it. So I went to the hospital, and of course some people like, ain't nothing really wrong with you, like always, you feel me, whatever. So that's why I think healthcare should be freaking free, because like I come here and y'all always tell me there's nothing wrong. Like y'all never do y'all job for real. So anywho, I get there or whatever, and then the lady's like, you know, do you smoke or whatever the case may be? And you know, you tell people no, you don't smoke. She was like, well, it's just giving the symptoms of like you have too much air in your stomach. And I know when I only get this feeling after I smoke, but it had lasted for so many days. I had stopped smoking and it was still lasting. So I was like, okay, that's a sign for me to stop smoking, because God, and I realized it made me unproductive. Like some smoke, like some people are productive with it, and I understand there's different strands, but for me, like even the ones that did make me productive, I just felt like it just wasn't a good habit to have. And then I thought about like the man that I want to be with, right? And my, you know, the children and stuff like that, and like being with God, and you know, as a disciple, weed, it's in itself is not a bad thing. It's about why you use it. And when I sat down and was like, okay, Lexi, why do you use it? At one point it was to help you sleep with insomnia, but now you smoke only because one, you're bored when you could be productive. Do something that's gonna be productive, like go make a video, go do content, you feel me? Or when I feel like I'm not in control of something, or I don't like how I, you know, feel right now, like when I'm pissed off, or when I'm sad, or whatever the case may be, it's like running from my feelings, right? And inevitably I'm gonna have to deal with those feelings anyway. So basically I'm using it as a suppressant, and I'm supposed to run to God and not anything else. So when I realized that I made weed an idol, that's when really made me say, okay, bet, like it's not even just about the feeling in my stomach or whatever. It's about like, wow, weed has really become an idol for me, and I didn't even notice. You get what I'm saying? Like if you run to a specific thing before you run to God, before you run to prayer, before you run to reading the word, before you run to worship, that has now become an idol. And when I realized that, I was just like, okay, boom, like that got to go. Like weed cannot be an idol for me. So that was like the main reason. So now I'll drink like champagne or whatever, but you'll be surprised how many people like can't stand that you don't drink. Like, I mean, I drink. I'm skipping ahead. Okay, I'm skipping ahead. Look at that. See, I can't really focus when I'm doing makeup sometimes, but we're gonna get this together, because we're gonna be doing a lot of get ready with me's. So, I stopped smoking, and mind you, like I said, I had access to it. I could just go down the hall and go get some. So for as much as I want. So everybody around me still smoking or whatever, but that's just when you use God as your strength. Because honestly, because I have always like cut cold turkey, it really wasn't too hard for me, but it was like the days that I really was like, dang, I could really hit, but I'm like, no, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Because this was an idol. So no, we not doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to remember the reason. When you just do stuff just out of your own strength and your own reasoning, then of course it's easy to slip back. But once you start making it like, no, God, I don't want to put this above you. And I know if I go back and make excuses like, oh, well, it's just this one time and I'm automatically saying like, you're not enough, God. So I always think about that when it's time for, like, when somebody offers it to me. And then after a while, you don't even like miss that feeling anymore. Like, it's just like, I used to be like, doom. Like, I don't know if anybody else has that feeling, but it's like my body just go like, doom. And I just stopped liking that feeling. So some people like crave that feeling, and the feeling of just like not being here, or everybody got different things, but to me, it just wasn't the best. Okay, so now it's just like, all right, I stopped smoking, whatever, but I'm still drinking, right? And this is what made me really stop drinking, y'all. Okay, so I had said I'm gonna stop drinking, but I was like still sipping on wine and stuff. And wine is fine, you feel me? I don't drink wine often, only because I know that I can easily slip back into like doing wine every day, you feel me? Or, oh, it's champagne, like my tolerance. I know me personally, so I just prefer, if it's not a celebratory thing, and I'm just drinking like a champagne or a cup of wine to celebrate, then I won't do it. Because in the Bible, they celebrated with wine, you feel me? But it was just something that you're supposed to drink on a daily, everyday, and not say everyday basis, because wine, you could drink a cup of wine a day. Like I said, it's a preference, you feel me? But for me personally, I'm not doing all that. So, because God will convict you about certain things specifically, because if you have the spirit of gluttony or the spirit of whatever, you feel me, you are more prone to backsliding than somebody else. So that's why you can't, one size does not fit all. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So because of that, it was just like, all right, I'm not really drinking or whatever. People will really be mad at you not drinking. Like, I wouldn't say like angry, but like people like just one shot, just one da-da-da. Like when you start smoking, people don't care. People do not care. But once you start drinking and they feel like, oh, like, but when we go to the club, like what we go, I'm fun without drinking. And honestly, I have more fun without it, and I spend less money. Like, we can go out to eat. My food will come out to like $30, and everybody else bill be like $95, $100, and I had just as much fun as everybody else. Because it's like, you're not drinking to get drunk. So at this point, you're just drinking for the taste or the little buzz. Like, the buzz is not enough for me to drain my bank account anymore. Like, be for real. Just because my cup looked pretty and I could take a picture. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So it's just like, for me, if we're not really celebrating nothing, like, well, why am I drinking it? I could just drink some sweet tea. Give me a little lemon. I'll put a little mint thing. Oh, my thing look real good. My thing look real good. As long as I feel like I'm sipping on something, that's like an easy way for me to like not have to feel like I gotta drink something. Like, people just think like, oh, I don't need to have, I'm gonna just drink water. No, like, I'm gonna drink a lemonade. It's gonna look like a margarita. Put a little swizzle. You feel me? And especially when y'all buy liquor and it's not even what's the word? A lot of liquor in it. They don't be heavy-handed. Oh yeah, waste of money. I'm not spending $17 on a drink that look just like mine just to get the same exact feeling. Yeah, but anywho, that's besides the point. I mean, it's not besides the point, but y'all know what I'm saying. So now I stopped drinking, right? But I went out to Stats get me in trouble. I'll go for brunch, but Stats be getting me in trouble. So I went out with like my crew or whatever, and my friend was like, oh, she wants somebody to buy her a drink. I was like, I can get somebody to buy us a drink. As soon as we walked in, I got somebody to buy us a drink, like within like literally 30 seconds, right? So they was like, oh, you want to come up to our booth, our table? Because we was just going over there to eat. So what's it called again? I was like, okay, sure, why not? Like, it's a Saturday. It's not like jumping, you feel me? It's not a lot of people in here. Woo. Okay. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I got roofied that night or whatever, but things just went left. And I don't remember. If she wasn't there, honestly, I wouldn't been able to tell you what happened. That's so scary. I couldn't tell you what happened. I was acting out of character. I wasn't like no bad or whatever. It was just a little bit, it wasn't bad. I was just being grown. And yeah. And I lost a good friend because of that. You know what I'm saying? Off of something that was off of a technicality or whatever. And that messed up my bread. That messed up my money. You feel me? Like it's a lot. I don't want to really go into detail because it's not only my story, but it had consequences 6 months later. Like sometimes you would think like, okay, back then, you know, we was cool about it because we both barely remember the night, whatever. But it was cool. And 6 months later, consequences. So I was just like, if I would have just listened to God when he told me not to drink in the first place, I wouldn't have gotten into that. He told me this for a reason, and I disobeyed him. Thought that, okay, you know, whatever. Cause I went to church the next morning, boo-hoo crying, and I was having my head down like, God, I'm sorry, da 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 da, and for multiple things, for multiple reasons or whatever, and it was just like, yeah, no. And then I just felt like because I'm abstinent, tomorrow, literally, today is the 21st. Tomorrow makes 2 years. And I'm so proud of myself. But what's the call again? Because of like drinking and stuff, I realized like if I drink, I'm gonna end up making poor decisions in the moment, and I'm gonna mess up what I like promised God. You feel me? So I can't do that. I can't do that. I had to like, what's the word? In order for me to keep one promise, I had to keep this promise. Like I had to stop drinking. I had to stop smoking so I could be of sober mind, like the Bible tells you to be, of sober mind, so I wouldn't make poor decisions that would then inevitably allow me to like mess up whatever I had going with God, which was you know, my abstinence. That's very, very important to me. So it's just like, yeah, everything intertwines with each other, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like I can't what's the word, risk doing this because of this. So that's like it played a part, right? It played a huge part. So I feel like now I'm sober mind. It also taught me to have fun without needing to be like to go along with the crowd. I'm not saying like I've always been like a crowd piece. That's never been me. But it's just like now I don't feel pressure to drink because it's like people know, oh yeah, Lexi don't drink. Lexi haven't drink like she like, you know when you tell people, but it's just at the beginning, like, oh girl, just drink. I'm like, nah, I don't drink. They be like, oh yeah. I'm like, how long? I'm like, it's been over like a year and a half now. They be like, oh, okay. Even when I'm like, you tell dudes like you're abstinent, I'd be like, yeah, I've been abstinent for about 2 years. Now it could be like 2 years and some change. They gonna be like, they take you serious then. Like when you say like 2 months, 3 months, they be like, oh, nah. And you be like, nah, I've been in this I'm locked in. They be like, oh, they don't play with that. You feel me? So this is how I feel about drinking. So it's funny because my family is the ones that be trying to make me drink more than anything. And that's how it be. You feel me? That's really how it be. But I know they don't mean anything bad by it, but I would just say keep people around you that understand it and like respect it, because it does get irritating and you have to have a strong willpower and constantly run to God, because you will be tested. I remember like my cousin was like, I'll give you $100 right now. I'll give you $200 right now to smoke a blunt. And I'm just like, I'm like, nah. And he liked that I stood on like I stood my ground, you know what I'm saying? He was like, oh no, we trying to get like Lexi, you know what I'm saying? So the whole time you thinking that like they not gonna like you or they ain't gonna rock with you. My cousins rock with me more now than they did before, and not because I was like a bad drunk, no, none of that. It's just like people, when they see you talk about change, it's cool, but when they actually see the change and they see like, oh, they really about that, they respect it. It's a different level of respect you get. I'm not saying that you ain't gonna get people that ain't gonna be like, oh, she thinks she better than us or whatever the case may be, but I don't make them feel bad. Like I'm like, turn up, drink, take a shot for me, you feel me? Like I just tell them my story and like my personal experience, right? And I remember I was talking to my stepdad and you know, we were talking and I was just like, who are you? Like, as far as in like, what do you like to do? other than like, you know, drink, smoke, all that stuff. Like, what do you like to do for fun? What do you do this? I'm like, you don't know yourself, right? I was like, a lot of the times we drink and we smoke is because we are running from our emotions. We are running from, you know, everyday life. This is an escape. And it's a very unhealthy escape, because a lot of times you realize you're gonna be 40, 50 years old and you don't know who you are. You don't know what you like. You don't know, like, okay, if I'm not smoking a blunt, what do I do? And you realize most of your day, if you take up the time that you're rolling up, smoking, thinking, sleeping, eating, like if you take all those times where that, you know, weed has like taken over that time, you realize that you spend more hours a day smoking than anything. And when you take that out of your system, not out of your system, but you stop doing, you don't know what you do with yourself. And that is bad, and it becomes addictive. And then people be like, oh, well, weed is not a drug. Yes, it is. It's most definitely a drug, because people are addicted to, like, think about it like this. People out here risking their livelihood. People out here risking their jobs to smoke weed. Cause you know that your job is a drug-free place, but you gotta smoke your weed after a long day. So if they was to take a random drug test, a lot of people would literally lose their jobs all because they wanted to smoke weed, but they say weed is not a drug. If you can risk your livelihood and your family and your crib, all that sort of stuff, yeah, it's a drug. It's a drug. It may not be heroin, it may not be crack, but it most definitely has the properties of a drug, and anything, and it's become an idol, right? When you start putting things that over your responsibilities, all because you need a instant relief, you know, instant gratification. And then you smoke so much, literally a couple, some of y'all, 10 minutes later, y'all need another blunt. How? I be like, I'm still like 3 hours later, I'm still high. You talk about you on your 5th blunt. That's crazy, okay? Crazy. I don't understand. But that's what the people, it's like, dang, like, it's not enough. Like, you constantly gotta keep escaping. Like, I be like, dang, you really hate life. Like, you really running from something, because you cannot be in reality for too long where you have to continue to like, and then it's like, you don't have a car, you don't have a crib, you can't buy a house, but every single day you find a way to gain $30 to go get a weed man for a 3.5, depending on where you at, because that's the cheapest you get for a 3.5, right? So it's just like, unfortunately, that's scary. Like, if you added up all that money, you literally probably could have bought you a house. You could have bought a car fully paid off. You feel me? Like, your bills could be a lot less. You could travel more. You could do a lot more stuff. You could have invested more. You could have started your business. But all that money go to weed. And you think because it's coming out here, $30 here, $20 here, it's not much. But then keep adding that up. Keep adding that up. My cousin told me yesterday, actually, he told me that he gave the weed man 4 bands last month and didn't even realize it. I mean, I said 4B, 400. I said 4 bands, 4 Bs. $400 last month and didn't realize it. $400. I don't even pay that for my car note. $400. That's like my car note and my internet bill and my water. I mean, and my light. Yeah. And he spent that on Zeb, on weed. Sorry, y'all, I gotta really focus. Okay, yeah. So that's like, it's ridiculous. So he's like, yeah, he finna start smoking. I mean, I believe it when I see it. But y'all, when I tell you the other day I went out to karaoke and I had a freaking blast. I know I'm all over the place, just hear me out. I had a freaking blast, and I literally spent $0 because the tickets were $35 and I paid that prior because I was like a Mad Miles run event. So when we got there, we already had like free pizza, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I spent $4 because I bought me a slushie. And then after that, we went to karaoke and we sang, we did all that. I got home at 12:30. The whole night I spent $4. I ain't spend no money at the bar. And when I tell y'all, I had a freaking blast. But guess what? The next morning, I was able to get up and go to the gym. I ain't had no hangover. And I ain't had no empty bank account. Tell me, if that ain't life, bruh. Yeah, once you start smoking and drinking, like, of course, the first couple times it's gonna feel like weird. And honestly, I would just say don't put yourself in an environment that you're constantly being tempted at first. Like, of course, that time is going to be, you know, determined on like your strength and who you are and stuff like that. But I wouldn't necessarily like stop drinking and then the next day go to the club and just say, oh yeah, I'm not gonna drink. Be for real. And you don't gotta stop cold turkey. I would just say stop drinking every day or stop drinking hard liquor. You feel me? Like little things like that, and then like continue to like, you know, everybody is not a cold turkey person, because then, you know what I'm saying, it's just, you're gonna be more likely to go back. I'm just the type of person that I can do things cold turkey. That's one. Second, you know, when they talk about like, even in movies, I know I'm all over the place, y'all, but this is what happens when I'm doing my makeup. My brain is just not focused. But they be calling like it's spirits, right? Oh, this is when I talk about the like the blackouts and stuff like that. So when it says be of sober mind, right? So your defenses are down. So you know when you black out, like that's literally spirit possession. So like the spirits, whether it's like the spirit of envy, the spirit of anger or whatever, that's why some people get real angry and you be like, what the heck, like who are you type stuff. That is a spirit that takes over their body. And that's why like sometimes you remember bits and pieces, like that's your subconscious coming up to the surface, and then other times you don't remember that. Like, how you remember this but you don't remember that? Like, it's literally because it's not you. It's literally not you. That's why in movies they refer to alcohol as spirits. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that goes into it. It's really biblical, and that's why God says drunkards will not get into heaven. He literally says drunkards will not be allowed in heaven. So that should tell you like how serious getting drunk is, how serious alcohol is. You know what I'm saying? So, and it just makes you do poor things. Like I said, being of sober mind is the most important thing. The enemy is waiting for your defenses to be down to go ahead and attack you. So, you know, be on your P's and Q's at all times. That's pretty much what it is. You need to be on your P's and Q's at all times. And if you're drunk or you're always high, it is so easy for the enemy to just slip in and tell you lies or convince you of things that are just not of the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? People are like, oh, I get my best ideas while I'm high. You think God is only giving you ideas when you are of sober mind? Like you really, like people be throwing me. I'm like, you think that God is only waiting until you get high to give you ideas? Be for real. Because you know the enemy can also give you ideas, right? The enemy can also get you. I'm not saying that all your ideas are from the enemy or whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying that you don't feel like you think better, but trust and believe God does not need you to be high in order for you to get an epiphany or a revelation. I swear to you not. Like, that is absurdity. That is absurd. And like, oh yeah, God made weed. He did. He made a lot of stuff on this earth. He really did. But guess what? Weed and those medicinal purposes in weed is supposed to help you with chronic pain. It has medicinal purposes. You use it as an escape. That is not the way to use it. There you go. What else? Yeah, so I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, I became abstinent, and life has been good. And on top of that, you start attracting better friends. You start attracting people that's more like you, to be honest with you. Hold on, y'all. By any means, I'm not telling you, oh, you have to stop smoking or stop drinking to be a child of God. That's between you and God. I'm letting you know exactly why I stopped doing it and the reasons behind it. Well, that means the same thing, whatever. But yeah, it's your prerogative. I'm just saying, like, it is something that I think people should think about. It'll save you money. You'll be able to get closer to God, and the attacks on you will be a lot. You'll be a lot less perceptible. I don't know if I'm saying that word right. You just won't be so accessible to the enemy. You know what I mean? You figure it out me. So yeah, I hope y'all like my makeup. I like it. It's cute. This is my Instagram page for my makeup. Yes, I am a makeup artist in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I do travel. But yeah, I never really promote that part, but yeah. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Like I said, this video was kind of all over the place because I was getting ready. I'm gonna get better. But we keep it authentic on this channel, right? So I think that's everything that I want to say. Oh, and don't be okay, and just be okay with getting scrutinized or losing friends after you convert to not drinking or whatever. I don't know if it's conversion or whatever the case may be, y'all, because like I said, my brain is scattered and I haven't eaten breakfast yet. But that's how you gonna know who your real friends are. I promise you, that's how you gonna tell who your real friends are. Once you stop smoking with them and stop drinking with them, a lot of the times you're gonna realize that you never even really liked them, or you never really had conversations with them, or outside of that, y'all never had nothing in common. This is when it lets you know who your circle actually is, who's gonna be down for you, who's not gonna be down for you, and who's gonna allow you to elevate and move up in life. Some people are only your friends at a certain standpoint, when you're stagnant and when you are either lower than them or at the same level as them. Once you start elevating and vibrating at a higher frequency level, which is within the Holy Spirit, some people, they can't handle that and they will fall off, and sometimes you ain't even gotta push them away. They'll literally and let themselves go. Okay, y'all ain't understand. Y'all probably didn't understand that thing because it was in my head. But yeah, but I hope y'all like this video. I hope y'all give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Share the video. Like I said, if you don't smoke weed or you don't drink or whatever, maybe this could help somebody else. It's supposed to be a video that's supposed to just relate to someone, or just really just kind of tell my story. It's not to convict anybody. It's not to make anybody feel some type of way because they do smoke, or tell them that they're less of a Christian if they do drink or anything like that. I don't believe in doing so. It's my job to love you, but also share the word and just kind of share my experience, because this is what Let's Talk is about, right? So yeah, other than Sunday, I'm recording this on a Sunday, y'all, because I'm doing better rather than trying to record it on a Tuesday, because I'll be giving y'all these videos late. But yeah, so I'm getting ready for church. It's raining, but I'm determined to have a good day. Yes, so I hope that y'all have a good day as well. And yeah, y'all stay blessed and wet. Y'all flex to Lex. Deuces.